everybody, this is Sherry, and I have been saying that I was going to come and show you guys the difference between the Strathmore Bristol smooth paper and the other papers that we use in our crafting. And I guess I just felt like it needed to be shown to you because the difference is tremendous. And when somebody says, well, it acts differently on this paper, I'm like, oh, come on, paper's paper. But in this instance, it's not. This is awesome stuff. And I'm telling you now that I will never, ever go without having that in my craft room because it's amazing. It's amazing. Now I'm going to use this Tim Holtz Candied Apple Distress Ink. And what I did was I cut 4 different kinds of paper. This is the Strathmore Bristol Smooth. This is the Copic Express It. Trying to get you guys where you can see good, and I don't want to cut off part of it. This is the Recollections 110-pound cardstock, and this is the Georgia Pacific Premium cardstock. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell in the video. I'm trying to get my lights so that you get as much light as possible. But this one here, this Copic Express It, is white. Very white. Then I would say the next for the white would be Georgia Pacific, then Recollections, and then the Strathmore. So if that is important to you or your project, you need that, you know, stark white, then the Strathmore might not be for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my ink out here. And we're going to start with the Georgia Pacific, since that's the one I had on the end. I'm going to ink up my blending tool, and I'm going to start in the center and see what we get, okay? Okay. Alright, we get not a bad blend, but definitely not perfect, and you can definitely see where I started. Alright, so let's go to the Recollections, and I'm inking up between, just like I did for that one. This is the Recollections 110-pound, and we're going to start right in the middle. And again, you can see where I started. I don't know if you're going to pick it up, if the camera will pick it up, but you can see the strokes where the sponge was. So that's Recollections. Now I'm anxious to see how my Copic paper holds up to this because it's so smooth. So I'm anxious to see what it will do compared to the Bristol Smooth. Now, again, we're going to start right in the middle. Oh, it did worse. Okay. Apparently it does not like Copic, or does not like Tim Holtz's ink on Copic paper. Not good. Alright. And so let's take, and we'll just ignore that one since that one was kind of a major bust. And we'll compare, here's the two we've got here. And now we're going to try the Bristol Smooth. Okay, I'm going to ink it up just like I did before. I'm going to start right in the center. Isn't that the bomb diggity? Because, you know, most of us know that you don't go from here to your paper. You go here off your paper and blend in. So to be able to start in the center or anywhere on your page without blotting off, and blend it in. See? I mean, that's what this paper does. That's why I think it's amazing. And I'm going to try to zoom you in here. Now remember, that was not, it's not that paper's fault. I just like put my thing down right there. So, but I'm going to try to zoom you in so that you can see the differences in the paper and get a better look. Now remember, Georgia Pacific, Recollections 110-pound, and Strathmore Bristol Smooth, okay? Because we're not going to be able to see the words when we go in here a little bit. There, that's better. And you guys can really see the difference here. Here's the Georgia Pacific Premium cardstock. Here is the Recollections 110-pound cardstock. And then here is the Bristol Smooth. Whoops, it's not wanting to focus because it's so light, but it just, and I could probably, I don't know, we'll see, let's see. Could I go in and blend the two together? Yeah, I could even go in and blend the two together. Let's see, because I just plopped this down, so there should be ink on there, right? You would think. Well, there's no blending those. And let's see. Let's do a blob here like we did there. Let's not be unfair. I want this to be so everybody, you know, gets... Wow, didn't leave much, did it? Okay, there we go. And that's on the Strathmore Bristol Smooth. I'm going to leave it on there for a second because it was on there for the Georgia Pacific for a while, so we want this to be as good of a comparison as we can possibly get. And I really wish this were whiter, more white, but still, even, it's just, if you're going to do a blended background, you can't get any better than this paper. I don't know how much better I can talk about it because I think it's awesome. Now we're going to go in and see if we can blend that out because we realized we couldn't blend it out here, so let's see if we can blend it out here. Look at that. And you guys saw how long I left that sit there, and I was still able, now if I mean it's darker right there of course, but if I was able to go back in, well, let's see, if I went back in with some more ink, could I blend that out to where you wouldn't see that circle? I believe I could. And when I do my blending on any of my papers, it doesn't matter what, I always go in a circular motion. But there it is. I mean, you can't really tell where that blob of ink was. And I mean, I just think it's amazing. And just, I wish that every paper blended that well. And still nothing. Oh, I am putting some muscle behind this one. Apparently I ain't got much muscle or this paper hates me. And I don't think it would work at all on this Recollections either. And so, and we won't even leave that one sit, you know. But there's no way that I'm going to be able to blend that out, no matter how much pressure or whatever. And you can see, I mean, you can see the circles where I started, and then there's the Bristol Smooth. Now, yes, you can see that it was right there, and that's because it's a little darker, but I do believe that I could go in and very easily blend to where you would not even know that that's where I put the spot. And I just, you know, like I said, this is a paper that my craft room will not be without, and I wanted to share its qualities and properties. And I know that a lot of people use this if you have those Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. You know, I know that a lot of people use that. Now, I have started watercoloring, and I've not tried this Bristol Smooth yet because I don't have the Zigs. I have regular watercolors, and I don't know how it would hold up to that, but I will try and I will let you all know. But definitely there's the difference between the papers. And you know, the Strathmore Bristol Smooth is a clear winner, and I hope that this helps somebody. And if you were on the fence about whether you wanted to invest in that paper, because it comes in a giant pad, and I think I can get 6 4¼ by 5½ panels out of each page, and I want to say there was like 20 pages. So, you know, 6, 20, 112, you know, panels. I mean, it seems like it's an investment at the beginning until you realize that, oh wow, I get 120 panels out of this, you know, $15 paper pad. But you can always use a coupon at any of the big box stores to make it, you know, more reasonable. And, you know, because most of us crafters wouldn't pay $15 for, you know, $1 a sheet, essentially, unless it's a specialty paper, which, in my opinion, this is, but it's still just a white paper. But I think the way it blends, the way it reacts with the distress inks makes it way more than just a white paper. It makes it a specialty paper, in my opinion. And I do not normally do this. I'm trying to get a paper towel. I do not normally spray my backgrounds. I mean, I know that a lot of you all do. And but I can tell you right now, look how cool. Maybe I'll have to do that more often. But I can tell you immediately, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it warped immediately. But I mean, you put down your, put it down with your ATG tape, and it's, you know, you're not going to know that it's warped. But if that is something that, you know, is of interest to you, I wanted to make sure that you knew. And I mean, it still worked well over here, and I don't have one of those distress sprayers, guys. I apologize. But, you know, we can see how well it worked on, you know, and it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do on all of, ooh, look at that, on all the papers. But until it comes to the blending, and this one is just above, you know, and beats them all hands down. Hands down, guys. Alright, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to share the differences between these 4 papers, and the poor Copic Express, it didn't even make it in the running. So, but I can still use the back of it for my Copic coloring. At least it's not a waste, because I was always like, I was a little like, I'm wasting Express paper. But I'm not, because paper has 2 sides, and that's what makes it perfect, because we can just flip it over. Alright guys, that's it. I hope this, you know, helps somebody who may have, oh, that was cool, who may have been on the fence about whether they wanted this paper or not. Definitely, in my opinion, give it a shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think it's amazing. Alright guys, thanks for visiting me today, and happy crafting. Bye.